After I found 5052 Queen Street, problem became, how do we get title to this house? And I did some research in the records department with the City of Worcester and also at the Registry of Deeds, and found out who the owner was. And I was able to reach him. He used to live in the house, and he found his situation improved, and he found a house in Holden. He and his family moved to Holden, but his wife had become ill, and although he continued owning that house and renting it out, he wasn't able to manage it properly. He told me he had some very bad tenants in there, and they did a lot of damage and destruction, and eventually all the tenants moved out, and that's how the house became abandoned. He said he had filed a bankruptcy, he didn't want the house, and he was willing to transfer it to Matthew 25 as a gift, which I thought was really wonderful. But a problem was, he had taken out a $50,000 loan at one point, and there were a lot of difficulties with the banks at the time. The Consumers Bank was bought out by the Bank of New England. Bank of New England went bankrupt. The new Bank of New England took it over. They went bankrupt, and then eventually Fleet Bank took it over, and they had a subsidiary called Recall Management, where all the non-performing loans went. So it was under the control of Recall. And I finally got in touch with a representative there. It was very hard to make contact with them. But finally I did get a person who had some authority. And he came and looked at the property, and he said, we don't want this either. Would you consider making a $500 payment, and we will release our interest in this property to you on a $50,000 mortgage. So I said, yes, I think we could afford that. And so I wrote a check for $500 to Recall Management. Now they gave a quitclaim deed to us for whatever interest they had in the property, and the prior owner gave us a quitclaim deed for whatever he had as interest in the property. And the quitclaim deed says, I'm not sure what legal interest I have in this house is, but whatever interest I do have, I'm giving it to you. So if we get that interest of the prior owner and that interest of Recall Management, we have a really good title. And at that point, the City of Worcester was willing to give us some federal monies that they had to assist us with the project. And the flagship bank in Worcester was willing to give us a loan for some of the money that we needed to bring the project to completion.
And this was, when did this process work itself out?
This process worked itself out in 1994, in the spring. We actually started work on the house in March of 1994, and all the legal work was underway at the time, and it got finalized around April of 1994, and the federal home funds that we got from the City of Worcester and the block grant money was approved in the fall of 1994, and then we just went forward with the program.